All right, let's get to it here, guys. So the Daryl Morey thing totally on the table. We're going to play the audio as we move through the show. If you want to react to it, obviously you can at 215-592-9494. Let's start with the Phils. I mean, John, they just keep on rolling. And yesterday was another day, and really, the star, as he is, honest to God, it's like almost every fifth day, Zack Wheeler is the star. He pitches every fifth day. He is a gem of Philadelphia sports. I still don't think he really gets the full local, certainly not national, props for what he deserves based on what he's now done. John, he's in year 5 now. Here, this guy is freaking amazing, John. He's unbelievable.
Well, and our entire staff has been amazing this season. Yeah. But, of course, Zack Wheeler leads the way and sets the bar, sets the example. He's the best of the best. And yesterday it was 7 innings and no earned runs. And shame on you, Zach. You walked a guy and you gave up 4 hits. But, no, he's just in great command. He's in great command. He and both sides of the plate, this is a guy who can just pepper you wherever he wants to, and it's going to be, close to 98, 99.
Oh, pinpoint accuracy.
Just
and life on
beautiful.
it, too.
Oh, it's tremendous.
It's
late life.
It's not like everyone else is 98. It's
Correct.
98. Yeah.
So, James, let me ask you a question. You follow around baseball, more than we do. Is he the best pitcher in baseball?
Yeah. Right now, today, I think Zack Wheeler is the best.
Incredible.
Certainly the best.
It is incredible.
Best healthy. I mean, Garrett Cole's hurt. You normally go Garrett Cole. I think right now, healthy Zack Wheeler is the best pitcher in the sport.
I mean, guys, that's
other than maybe Ranger Suarez.
Well,
okay.
No. I mean, guys, that is so rare. Like the last time the Phillies had the best pitcher in baseball was probably Roy Halladay, 2010, maybe 2011.
Without a doubt.
And prior to that,
Cliff in 09, you could argue was all like you could argue.
Yeah, that was a shorter span of time.
I agree.
No.
I agree.
And here's the thing: I'd even probably skip over Schilling, and I mean that as no disrespect to Schilling. Schilling in the late '90s was amazing, but Pedro was better. As great as Schilling was when he had the 2 straight 300 strikeout years. I mean, at that point, Randy Johnson and Pedro were both better. So you're probably prior to that going back to Steve Carlton. I mean, guys, this is something really rare to have, like the best pitcher in baseball. And by the way, to be leading, John, as you pointed out, a staff it doesn't, as Jason Kelsey said years ago, it don't stop with him.
You got Spencer Turnbull.
It's incredible, the rotation.
Hey, sorry, buddy. You're the odd man out. Your ERA's under 2, but we're going to have to send you down to the bullpen, bud. That's crazy to say that.
It's amazing. So, look, let's get into it today. I mean, obviously, reaction from the Phillies sweep of the Giants and the recent success, again, 6 in a row, 17-3 in their last 20. The whole thing on the table at 215-592-9494. By the way, also notable, I mean, when your star hitter for the second straight game hits a 3-run home run. It's real nice to get 6 RBIs in 2 games, 2 jacks. I mean, you want to see him kind of hit a better stride, particularly with Trey Turner out. So a great job by Bryce yesterday. The best job by Zack Wheeler yesterday. Crowd showing up at the ballpark. Great sweeps. All of it on the table. 215-592-9494. So, John, let me ask you and everyone this question. Are the Phils actually this good? Like, for those that don't know, and I think most know, best record in baseball.
Right.
It's been a long, long, long time. Since 2011, we could say, I mean, we've been able to say it the last 4 or 5 days, but basically since 2011 to say the Philadelphia Phillies have the best record in baseball. Now, look, it's not, October 1st. It's May 7th, but it's been a great start. Ironically, after a faulty initial start, like the early start was slow, but then, by whatever, May 6, 7, 8, whatever they hit their stride. I mean, John, are they, in your opinion, this good?
Yes. And Bill Parcells told us a long time ago, you are what your record says you are, and their record says they are the best in all of baseball. I believe that because watching them, they are hot, and everyone knows it. The teams they're playing know it. The teams who are watching know it. All of baseball is a buzz with Phillies, hey, Phillies hotness. We are hot, and right now, and let's take some time and enjoy this.
I agree with that.
This is not something I'm accustomed to.
No.
And as long as we've done our show together, going back to 2016, It has never felt anything close to this. We've never been out in the lead. We've never been where we are right now.
They feel like where the Eagles were a couple times in the last, 8 years or so, 7 years, like 2017 and 2022. Now, again, it's early, guys. I mean, I want to be clear. This is only May 7th. It's not July 7th. It's not August 7th. But, I mean, right now, they feel totally dominant, and I would say pretty much complete. I mean, obviously, you want to see Trey Turner get back and be healthy.
Complete and then some.
Because they got the bullpen. Like, what's the biggest weakness? I guess Castellanos, I guess?
Uh-huh. Well, and Trey goes down. It's like, all right, let's just stick a guy who was an all-star last year in the starting lineup.
Right.
And our weakness was on base 4 times last night.
Yeah.
Nick Castellanos, our weakness, batting whatever, 185 prior to the game. He still got on, and he's looking pretty good. Yeah, and he laid off the stuff that he normally doesn't. Well, so maybe he's getting on track.
Yeah, and I think the biggest key, look, guys, we can talk all about the bats we want. We can talk about who should be the shortstop and all that, right? Team speed obviously has improved over the last 2 years. Team defense has obviously improved over the last 2 years. Speed obviously augmented by Trey Turner's presence, although currently out. Rojas's presence. Team defense by Rojas. Bohm's improvement at third. Okay, but the reality is this. This thing to me primarily comes back to pitching. I mean, there are certain things you hear about in sports. You used to hear about defense in football. I don't think it applies the way it used to because football
the whole
has changed.
Defense wins championships.
Yeah,
thing.
like the main thing in football is the quarterback. I mean, let's be real. The reason the Patriots dominated the main reason, I don't want to disrespect Belichick, the main reason the Patriots dominated for 2 decades, the main reasons the Colts dominated for a decade and a half, the main reason why the Steelers dominated for a decade, Roethlisberger, you're going Manning, you're going Brady. I mean, this is not hard to figure out. And that to me is what this is about with the Phillies and what it's always been about in baseball. It's about pitching. It's about pitching. And the Phillies are freaking loaded. And by the way, it doesn't stop
so loaded
with the starting rotation.
I said,
Jeff
Spencer
Hoffman again.
Oh my God,
nasty.
He is.
Hoffman is so nasty.
He is.
That slider, it really is impossible to hit, and I don't know how JT catches it. It bottoms out so hard. Last night, it bottomed out so fast and hard, it was way in front of the plate in the dirt, and he somehow got on top of it. It is truly majestic to watch that thing break.
It's phenomenal. So, look, obviously we want to hear from him on the Phils at 215-592-9494. And if you think they're actually, this good.
We've won 17 of 20 games,
I know.
And I've never seen it look like that. I've never seen our team be this dominant, whether it's at home, on the road, no matter the circumstance. They're showing up, and like you said, it's the rotation.
Yeah, it is.
When you're that good pitching, no one's going to be able to touch you when it's all said and done, or if they do, it's going to be games that are few and far between. We are so good in the pitching department that Spencer Turnbull, whose ERA was like 2 point something or 1 point, it was so low, it was ungodly. I've never seen anything like that either. He has to be relegated to the bullpen because we just don't have room for that much greatness in our rotation.
You're saying
now.
they're 5 and they're 6 pitchers better than it was when Vince Velasquez was there?
How about that?
Vince Velasquez wasn't even the 5 at times. Yeah.
Think about where we've come from.
All right, so look, 215-592-9494 on all of it, including are they actually this good?
And one last thing, another reason why they are this good. Once upon a time, and really, in recent years, I felt great when we'd win a series, and that felt like that was a positive change for the better. When we would string together series wins.
Yeah, of course.
Now, for the first time, we're stringing together series sweeps.
Yeah.
And a 4-game series sweep against the Giants is something I never could have conceived of.
Well, and the beauty of it is, and I think this will resonate with a lot of people, that's what the 08, 9, 10, and 11 Phillies
and
did.
I've only heard of that. I've only heard stories.
Yeah.
I've only heard, oh, man, I wish you could have seen it back when it was gorgeous in October over there. Yeah, didn't see it. Now I'm getting a feel for what that must have been like.
Yeah, I mean, you wake up, there's a game, and you know that it's reasonable to expect that your team will win that game that day. I mean, that's kind of where we're at. Now, look, I'll say this. Are they actually this good? Yeah, I think they are. But here's the caveat, and I'm not throwing cold water on people. I'll just say this team ultimately is going to be judged by the postseason. They've established that. They've established kind of an Eagles-type thing where it's all good and well what you do in the regular season, but you're going to be judged based on what you do in the postseason. And I'm eyes wide open to the fact that in recent years, there have been some extremely dominant regular season teams that have had extremely early exits in the postseason. Obviously, notably the Braves the last couple seasons. Obviously, the Mets 2 years ago when they won 101 games as a wild card team. I mean, the freaking Dodgers. I mean, ever since they won the World Series in 2020, they keep going out in the first round after winning 100 and something games every year. So I temper my, I don't want to call it enthusiasm because I agree with John. Like, lean in. I mean, my God, we've been waiting for a carefree regular season for years.
Yes, but we've been begging for this type of setup. We've been begging for actually a GM who would come in and know what he was doing.
Well,
first
he's
of
awesome.
all, Dave Dombrowski, he's been here. He's done this.
Yeah.
He's been to the World Series 4 times. He's won the World Series twice. He knows how to get us where we want to go.
He does.
And you can see, every year it's a little better, step by step. Like we're on the right track.
Well, look, it's very exciting. We'll take your calls and everything going on with the Phils. 215-592-9494. We'll get into the Daryl Morey press conference from yesterday. I found it in many ways very underwhelming and very irritating. Why? We'll get into it. Listen, the guy's a smart guy, says some good stuff, but at the same time, there's a lot on the negative side of the ledger, in my opinion. What that's about, I'll tell you next. We'll rock all your calls on all these topics. Joe DeCamera, John Ritchie. It's a good day, man, to be a Phillies fan. Best record in baseball, 94 WIP.